So our GracePorts are, just in case you don't know or are unfamiliar, are panel interface connectors. So they allow you to plug in from the outside of the panel to access things like your PLC or basically whatever it is you're trying to connect to inside the panel. A couple of the key benefits there is typically plants, they're not very clean. There's a lot of dust, there's a lot of dirt or whatever else that might be in there. So keeping the environment out of your panel or enclosure is crucial because those things are not cheap and you don't want a lot of dust building up in there, as well as keeping out your maintenance guys as well, just because there can be a safety issue with people going inside the panel. So just keeping your employees as safe as possible and keeping the environment out of the panel. So one of the new things that we created, so we've been making GracePorts for
30 years. Yeah, we're still
90s.
still innovating after 30 years. But what's new? What are people excited about because of this?
Yeah, so one thing we've been hearing about, I think Nick and I have had plenty of conversations with end users with our GracePorts of saying, hey, these things are great, but my guys aren't always fully closing it with the screws here. And so what we did is we created a magnet housing. So you have magnets on the top of the window here where it just drops down and it's going to close. We do recommend to finish it out and screw these all in just to get your environmental ratings. A key benefit too of this is the magnets can actually hold it against the panel, so it's not going to close on top of your fingers by any means. So it's just kind of a little bit easier to use, making sure these are fully closed, protecting maybe your RJ45, your outlet, or whatever else is inside our GracePort, making sure nothing gets in there and it's doing the job that you wanted it to do.
Yeah, that's in addition to the normal latch that we have. So there's times when people are walking away and they're not securely latching these, which generally if it's hanging open in the environments, if they're doing that, it's not too bad. But there are some where that dust and that corrosive environment gets in there and then your data transfer isn't going to be as efficient and you're going to start noticing some issues. So in that case, we've had this ability where we can just seal that and make sure that environment stays outside of the GracePort, so you don't get any steel flakes inside your Ethernet port or anything like that. So
yeah, 100%. And one thing that kind of is new that you can see actually on this GracePort is our USB-C. So right now it's in a duplex outlet. So you have a USB-A up top and then a USB-C on the bottom power. So two things with this, and you can kind of see just the USB-C version right here is you're actually allowed to plug in your laptop, get that powered up, your phone, maybe it's an iPad, whatever it is. Obviously, a lot of things you're working with are transitioning over to USB-C. So instead of needing a outlet, you can actually just do the USB-C power. So if you are looking to do just 24 volts DC in the panel, this is a great option for you, as you can just plug in for your USB-C there. As well as it can save you a little bit of money. You don't need any, like a transformer in the panel, things like that, as well as if you do want to convert from your 110 down to 24 volts, this is a great way to do so.
Yeah, the USB-C has been popular too. That was the feedback of as we're starting to see electrical equipment standardize on that USB-C charging component. So laptops that maintenance are using and even the iPhones. There are a couple places that have gone around. It's generally we see the USB-C used to eliminate outlets. If outlets are causing a problem, if people are plugging in extension cords or
vacuum
anything,
cleaners, heaters,
there's
fans.
a lot. There's a lot. The conversations get real weird when you ask what you're trying to keep people from plugging in. But the USB-C, there's no data transfer on the charging component. So it's a safe way to allow people to plug in authorized equipment and power it without giving anyone free access to an outlet just because they can see it.